how to revive the economy. Because amid all of this, amid the lockdown, unlocking of the lockdown, strategizing, there is a larger issue of what needs to be done to revive the economy. What decision needs to be taken? Let me quickly welcome my guests on discussion number 2. Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, co-founder of Infosys and chairman of Axeler Ventures, and Mr. Vikram Kirloskar is the president of the CII. Both of them are with me. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Kirloskar, let me begin with you. You and I had a discussion a few days ago on China's loss being India's gain. You had very interesting points on how we need to spruce up our manufacturing. This could actually be a big opportunity. But do you think an immediate concern right now will be to give that thrust, that fillip, to get the economy back on track? What needs to be done from here on?
See, when I look at my industry, my manufacturing industry, I'm sure there are different stories on services and things like that. But definitely on manufacturing, for us, our biggest issue is demand. When this opens up, who is going to get up in the morning and say, I want to buy a car? That is what is frankly speaking worrying me, or whether he'll buy a new refrigerator or well, how many people, how fast can we get back to our original volumes? The first quarter is definitely a washout. Okay, by the time supply chains start working, the dealers start working, and we get our own factories working, it's going to be the first quarter. And I think the earliest and the best case scenario I find is that we'll be in relatively smooth production in the second quarter. So this is the situation. So what I'm looking for, if at all we talk of any kind of incentive, besides the ones that we have talked about on salaries, on loans, and all the other things, is how do you spruce up demand? And that is what, frankly speaking, gives me sleepless nights.
Okay. Mr. Gopalakrishnan, would you like to answer that question? What gives Mr. Kirloskar sleepless nights? How do you fix that? Because I'm sure it's not just Mr. Kirloskar. Some people in the government also must be thinking the same.
Well, it's a big challenge, no question about it. We have to look at how we can create demand, recreate demand, restart demand. Having said that, I think there is a need for the government to look at stimulating demand through various means by, for example, helping with the payroll. See, when we look at startups itself, 47% of the startups have just 1 month of cash right now. If they don't get any support, most of them are going to close down. And if you look at 6 months, 74% of the startups don't have cash beyond 6 months. So this is a very bad situation, and we need to look at what we can do. Because once the industry is able to, the SMEs, the startups are able to pay their salaries, at least you can expect some people to start spending. We need to open up the retail outlets. We need to open up the car dealership. Of course, the government has given clear guidelines on how to open these with social distancing, how to open it in a safe and secure manner. Industry must follow it, and I think we're committed to follow it. So we have to take these steps on a calibrated manner, such that on one side we need to create the demand. That means money in people's pockets and the retail outlets are open. On the other side, we have to make sure that the production restarts, factories start working. We need to make sure that the supply chain happens.
On both these things, Mr. Gopalakrishnan, let me quickly go back to Mr. Kirloskar. Mr. Kirloskar, on both these counts, obviously the natural expectation will be to look towards the government as far as creating liquidity so that there is a demand, so that people have money in their pockets to spend. You would have to look at government. For instance, a scheme, a Nyaya-like scheme or a direct cash benefit transfer, making the money reach the poorest of the poor so that it will be reinvested into the economy. And then again you have to look at the government for some sort of a relief or a stimulus package to get the industry back on track, for manufacturing to get back on track. Can the government actually spend this much? A very fundamental question.
See, there are two things in my mind. One is, of course, what we ask the government, what the government will do. And the second is actually, I think more important, is a little bit of a psychological feeling. I think it's a feeling of safety that is going to be required. The safer one feels, the better chance of a demand coming up. I think staying at home for such a long time certainly has got my anxiety level up. And I'm sure I'm a lucky guy. I have everything pretty well organized. But I talk with a lot of other people, their families, our employees and things, their anxiety levels are high. So first is the safety part. And in the safety part, there are two kind of dates which I keep thinking of. One is when a medicine is available that will protect someone. Not a vaccine, but something that will cure someone. I think there's a lot of experiments going on, a lot of trials going on. Some have worked, some haven't. But that I expect will come out soon. And then, of course, the full safety is the vaccine. So these are the two dates I'm playing around in my head, and also for our planning on how we open our dealerships and how do we push our marketing and those things.
It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. That's why I don't expect the auto industry really to come down smooth. I mean, come back to full form till June of 2021.
Oh boy, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a lot. This year, I think in our best case scenario, first quarter is washed out, so that's 25% of the revenue is gone. Plus, in the remaining amount, I don't know how much whether we can really be running at full capacity.
Sure.
It'll take a while before it comes to that level.
Let me
so you're looking at those numbers.
Okay.
That's reality.
Okay. Dr. Naushad Forbes as well as Mr. Dhruv Sahni are also with us. Dr. Forbes, let me ask you this question. We were discussing just a short while ago on what should the relief package from the government look like. What sort of assistance should one be expecting from the government to revive the economy?
Sure. So what we've recommended from CI, and we did this now 4 weeks ago, is a package which would largely be focused around supporting people who are vulnerable, and then employment support for enterprises. For the package for people who are vulnerable, we've recommended some Jan Dhan transfers to people who are particularly self-employed and employed in the informal sector, who have lost their jobs by the million. Now, as you know, CMI estimates that something like 120 million people have lost their jobs in these last 6 weeks. That's a huge number. The great bulk of them are informal employees. That's what's been driving the migrancy crisis as well. And they're the ones who need a direct transfer to support them at this time. The second thing that we've recommended very strongly is enterprise support in the form of loans that would be given from the banks. They would be given at a rate of interest of around 4 to 5%, so slightly above the rate at which banks currently have a lot of cash sitting with the RBI and earning. They can lend it out to private companies for 3 months' wages. And the idea is 3 months' wages provided to companies as a loan with a 2-year repayment period, a 6-month moratorium on the repayment. And the idea is that you do 3 months' wages, you try and get companies to sustain their employment as it currently is, and to sustain it for a full 3-month period. If we can sustain employment and we can sustain livelihoods for people from the informal sector, we're setting the foundation for a very rapid and quick recovery.
Now, Mr. Forbes, that's a huge if.
That's the main point that we've made.
My problem is that's a huge if. Dhruv Sahni, would you like to take up from where Mr. Forbes left? He says that if you were to retain jobs, if you were to create a situation where in the informal sector people continue to retain their jobs, we know for a fact that in the informal sector there is an absolute mess. Absolute mess. Anyone who can dispose of people in the informal sector is disposing them of.
Yeah, I think, Sanket, I'm not in our capital goods sector. just to give you an idea, we're not so badly off. I wanted to concentrate on exports. I think this is a huge opportunity. We as a company have even received some export orders during the lockdown period. But let me say that this focus, where the employment has gone down, we can change this into an opportunity. The opportunity is to make exports a focus. And the primary thing here, there are two. One is the supply chain. Now, in that supply chain, our SME sector is key. For that sector, we need a lot of assistance. They need money. They need money very fast. The companies that they supply to will give them all the help, but they can't give the money. The banks really are not helping this sector at the moment on the ground. Now, let me tell you that the opportunity is today. We have some companies who have decided to go away from China in the last 2 weeks and give orders, but we have to concentrate on being able to supply this equipment in time and get the supply chain moving. The situation really is quite dire. I think
Correct.
employment is at least 15% down. So this is a factor where, of course, we have to concentrate on the domestic market. But I think the big advantage today for India is in the exports. I feel we should have targets. Let's have a target that in Q4 we will be more than last year, and that is achievable.
All right. All right, Mr. Sahni, Dr. Forbes, Vikram Kirloskar, as well as Mr. Gopalakrishnan, thank you so much. Hope the government is listening, because this is interesting advice that the government can do with. That's all the time we have in this edition of Left, Right and Centre. News continues right here on NDTV.